Greetings all. Personal log 0209-2020. Yes, if you guys can notice my left eye, it's a little bit swollen. I don't know from what, but if I had to guess, people have been messing around with my food, with my water, with my air. So I feel like they've caused, I don't know, nowadays it's almost like, is it natural or is it my jailer caused? Today I want to touch upon a couple of things. First of all, I think one of my rants, sometimes I rant, it seems like that sometimes they they slip. It's so complicated, like a bars that they have like 1,000 men army out there keeping an eye on what I do. I mean, I can't think about using the bathroom without somebody knowing. So my life is fully exposed, and I mean exposed to the max. At least I try not to think about it. Try to have a sense of humor. Like, I'm sure there's some good people out there. I think I ranted. So one of the stuff I noticed, and I've seen that I know that people put stuff in my drinks and whatnot. Don't ask me how but they get to it. So sometimes I go on rants, and those rants, I guess they try to get some information out of me. It's like some truth syrup, like spill your guts, like you gotta talk, like blah, 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 right? So last time I didn't have a chance to look through my rough draft of what I was talking about, but I think I mentioned parties like liberal, Democrat, Republican. I don't want people to mistaken, I'm all for democracy. I'm not, you know, my that was more for the pastors, right? When you get to be in a certain spiritual level, and I'll get to that later, how I see myself getting there. And the problem with me is I have people out there that are keen on putting weights on my ankle, so I can't reach no spiritual. So say I achieve some strength, or I overcome some social, say, I'm not comfortable with something, but I overcome it. Or say, I battle, I defeat lust, in terms of, if I see somebody, my phone's been hacked too. Sometimes random picture of a lady exposed, not fully exposed, you know what I mean, like, and I can resist it, but I feel like the stuff they taint my water with, it deletes some of the memory and some of the achievements as well. That's the worst part about it. It's almost like if I stray 10 steps ahead of what I am now, I'm brought back to 2 with whatever that is. Because those 10 steps I can't remember. Right? So it's definitely tough, to say the least. But I'll try. I'm hailing. And my thing with the politics of and I'm just saying, you have to be wise. I call upon, and also some segments of what I say is for not everybody. It's kind of like the Bible. Not everything's for everybody, right? There's things for pastors, there's things for shepherds, pastors, there's things for the sheep that follow, there's things for everybody, right? So I mean, that section was, especially when you get into the spirit world, you don't, even the not being involved with a female, that's another, it's more of a higher end spiritual decision. It's not for everybody, right? So I guess you'll have to decide what's for you, what's for not, right? You can be like, okay, this thing doesn't really apply to me, but this thing kind of does, right? This thing does. I mean, not everything I said will apply to everybody, but with the pastors, that was it. Because I mean, I'm not saying support, give to the politicians what's theirs, the votes. Give to God what's God's, right? And we are for the God's kingdom. And yeah, of course, if somebody supports Christianity, that's always a positive thing. That's, we are Christians at the spring, right? We're all Christians, so we got to look towards the spring. So spring is Jesus Christ. And then we have the downstream Protestants, Catholics, Orthodox, right? But we got to look towards our creator of everything, and I guess you can say the creator of this new covenant that was written about in the Old Testament, right? For Christ is the new covenant that Yahweh, the God of Israel, has promised, God of Abraham, which is our God, which is also a God of the Hebrews and Ishmaelites. I mean, there's a whole thing there. Ishmaelites, their belief is we are following the God of Abraham. That's maybe a thing down the stream. We can all this. Another thing is, I'm a mere child or a mere puppy in the vast land of the ocean. We're all in this together. So if I get something wrong, first, this is my first trial. I don't really go. I don't write stuff down. I don't kind of have ideas running and then I say them. So we're all in this together. And if something people want to debate, I'm always open when the time comes, of course, if the time comes at all. But yeah, debates are wonderful. Debates are, it's, the Roman Senate, as we all touched upon Rome back in the day, and that was the difference between them and some of the, I guess, like the Germanic tribes. Right, the Romans had that debate. They had the floor, even though there's nowhere was perfect, and there's I suppose the closest thing we'll get to perfection if we in on earth is when God's kingdom. That's I would say that's near perfection. Don't quote me on this, but I'm guessing that would be perfection to its the full potential of humans. But in the Rome and the Senate, we we see the debate, right? People debate, and that's good. People should debate their ideas, not fight and argue in this. Let's debate. What are your ideas? You can debate Christians, you can debate other religions, you can debate to get stuff out there. Why do you think the stuff I say? What do you guys think about it? Right? I mean, this whole started. I'm gonna tell you how my fame started and my torture. I actually was online and I was, doing some spiritual research with YouTube, with all kinds of stuff, and I came across some atheists and some, I think they were somewhat dark magicians or something, and we were debating. I was debating my viewpoint, right? And they're debating theirs. And the next thing I know, I guess they were connected or something. They got the authorities or something up high got involved, and I'm here, right? So we were debating. Of course, I was for God of Abraham. I was for Christ, and I was, trying to merely say, why would you fight for the other side when, it's written that you're gonna lose? I mean, logically, I'm a good guy. I love Christ. I love everything about our religion. But to me, I don't see the logic. I was trying to debate the logic with these guys, which you can't really debate logic with some people. But it was almost like, okay, so you're on the other side, but it's written that you're gonna lose. Why would you choose losing sight, right? Something along those. That's how it's all started. And then I guess I don't know who they were. I mean, we did some spiritual. I mean, they couldn't do nothing to me. It was right off the bat, like their whatever the strength they had was. I mean, in the spirit world they can, in the physical world they can't somehow. I don't know. They're connected, I guess. I don't know. No. But another thing I want to talk about is yeah, the whole. So some stuff I say is for some stuff I say is merely just for say pastors. When you get into the spirit world, you see how the forces of you will try to yank you left, right, conflict you with people. That was my whole thing with the politics. But if you support a local or a federal or something, yeah, local, provincial. I think local, state in the states is local, state, and federal. Like that's fine. Give to politicians what's theirs, which is votes, and give to God as what is God's. But I would urge, of course, love thy enemy is always respect the other side. Don't, I guess, don't go on the offense. Go more in protection mode in some way. There's another thing about Christianity. It's the debate of offense, defense, neutrality, which I think is key one of our key strengths is the debate of offense, defense, neutrality, right? And I think it's good for us. Even though it's so complicated, it pushes us, right? It pushes our wisdom, it's not as simple as that person's against me. A natural human reaction is attack, right? But not for us. For us, it's more like, how can I how can I not defend myself with the sword, right? Uh, like our, like our golden shepherd told us. So it pushes us to bound. It pushes it challenges our mental capacity, our way of thinking, and I think that's what that's one of the strengths we get out of the Bible. It's the challenge. It's not as simple as that person's your opponent. Use your what's inside. What does your body say, right? And we know our bodies are of this earth and they're primitive. They want you know offense. They want aggression to a point. We got to control that. So yeah, I did debate some people, atheists. I debated a lot of people online, and I debated people. I came across people that were practicing dark arts, and we had a huge disagreement because I follow that. So yeah, what else was I gonna say? Okay, so yeah, and of course I'm not gonna engage in. I'm not gonna. I don't know. I don't have that wisdom yet. How to, if you ever come across a person that is I mean, respect everybody, but you have your religion. But when it comes to people of I guess there's people of wisdom and knowledge, that there's things of darkness that are being practiced out there, and it's we're seeing signs of that we're being besieged slowly by the spirit of the Antichrist. So it seems like in some way his spirit is here. I guess his other evil side is just awaiting him as we await our Lord and Savior. So It's almost like, the prophecies are being fulfilled. We're waiting, they're waiting, and you know the wise, it's almost like when you're living out uh, in the mountains, some in wilderness, when you know the storm's coming or winter, the winter's coming, you prepare, you get your wood ready, you get your rations ready. So I would urge people to do that. Sorry, I said gods. I mean, God, like give to God is in possessive God. So the one God, to give to one God what is His. I mean, there's only one God, right? And Christ and the Holy Spirit they're all one. It's three in one. So also, yeah. So okay, that brings me to my next topic. Yeah, there's people out there of the dark forces. We'll say, let's say dark forces. They're practicing their magic of God knows. I guess just like the people of old. I guess if some people like back in the day when you had Aries and you had what other ones? Anubis even, right? They used to pray to these gods, and these gods give them knowledge. I guess the same thing now. People are worshiping Satana, and he's, I guess, giving them knowledge, giving them power. So people are selling stuff to get that knowledge. Um, so yeah, another thing I wanted to bring up was, so the name of the fallen angel, the fallen, I think I was thinking about it, and the fallen Luciferian, right? That's one of the reasons people are like. I spoke to one person. It was a high. It was a guy from elementary, and I think he was caught up in it. But the way he made it sound was, he's like, yeah, it's cool. What is cool? And I think it's the name that people in English we say devil, and I urge people. I English is a wonderful language, and it's vast. It's across the world. It's a world language. It unites us. It's great, but it's always good to upgrade and inherit and learn new things. Because some things I find, and you also find this, if you're bilingual, trilingual, you'll learn that other languages describe something better. There sometimes it's hard to translate. Even we look at it from Hebrew and Aramaic to the way the Bible. Some words, they lose meaning in the translation. So like, I think the priest from back home, he mentioned how in Aramaic, when Christ told the one of the when Christ told one of the guys that was crucified with him, I think in English, in our Bible, in the creation, it's translated to, "Today you will be with me in heaven," but from like a direct translation from Aramaic would be, "At this moment, right at this moment you will be," because people, honestly, the whole today tomorrow thing is a little bit complicated in the Bible because with prophecy. So I guess that's a good way to look at it, that Christ said it. I mean, that translation would make sense, right? Like, he wants to know let the no person know, hey, at this moment you're with me in heaven, right? Because you humbled yourself at the worst time. That brings me to my next topic. Okay, we'll get to the Satana topic later, but my next topic would be, yeah, I've had such horrible days since. Oh, it all started that my whole torturous experience started with me reading the Bible, realizing the truth, and yeah, picking a fight with or an argument with a person online about how he shouldn't be part of no, how practicing dark arts is wrong. It's really wrong. That was my argument, of course, like any normal Christian would say. Yeah, one of my jailers, he finally commented, I had a horrible day. Like, I had one of those worst days. I was betrayed in some way by a close friend. Kind of like what, somebody that was with me next to me was somewhat plotting against me. And it just feels horrible. Like, it's just, I had so many, like, my heart's been pierced twice already with using my attraction towards females. Henceforth, I did what I did. But this also felt wrong. And it's just another, I guess, a whip on my back, just another whip. But one of the jailers commented, it's funny because he said, wow, you must really feel alone now, right? You're all alone in the world. I have God. I don't need anybody else. If it came down to it, I need everybody, but I'm just saying, if it comes down to it, I only need God. But yeah, so he said, this must be kind of so long. This must be almost like your worst day. And surprisingly, I was like, nope, that's not my worst day in my life. And I think that's what tests you. It's your worst day in your life. Like, what do you like? That guy on the cross, he had the worst day on his. I'm pretty sure that's a bad day. Like, he was there. He's crucified. He's about to get his bones smashed, as they usually do, and he shows humility, and in some way, he doesn't beg for forgiveness, but from the bottom of his heart, right, his heart changes. Remember me. That's all he says. Remember me. All right, and that's sometimes at the worst time you get tested. And to my jailer out there, my worst day was this. Okay, I had nobody. I had no female companion. My fiance left me. What else? My work was horrible. My bosses were abusive. Um, I didn't really talk to my family. I had no friends. It was cold. It was wet. I was hungry. I just felt the lowest of the low. That was the worst day. You missed it. I'm sorry, buddy, but you missed it. And then this African guy comes up to me. Race doesn't matter, right? It doesn't matter. But this African guy comes up to me. And he's poor and it's cold. And he asked me to buy him food. And to myself, I'm like, you want me to buy you food? Do you know what I'm going through? Do you know what I'm like? I'm in the worst shape of my life. And then something overcame me, and I can't explain it. I decided, I'm like, all right, man, you know what? Even though I'm going through this horrific pain, I'll be humble. I'll give you, it didn't cost me much, maybe $5 soup, Tim Hortons soup, $4, $5, 4.50, 45, that when they put the price in between, so it's, so they play on your psyche. I'm telling you, psychology. It's what we get from the Bible. If you ask me, any psychologist should read the Bible and know what they're talking about. So yeah, so I bought him soup, and sometimes the hardest moments in your life call out the best character. Okay, but what else was I say? Okay, so yeah, so yeah, nowadays I don't know what's going on with people. They're thinking this devil. I think it's even what I was trying to say the name, right? I heard the name Satan. I think it might be, I'm not sure which languages, but the way it sounds perfectly portrays, and that's what I'm trying to say. We need to put a label on this evil spirit, it's almost like a radioactive label, right? Like, when you see the radioactive sign, something's wrong. Like, I don't know what they did, how they made it to give your psyche like even I would say even a kid, if they saw that to a certain age where their cognitive develop cognitive mind is developed, they would react and oh my god, let me stay away. So the reason, I mean, you shouldn't say that name often because of it's almost like, you know that spirit is way, it's a proud spirit. That's why he rebelled. It's got so much pride that it gives him encouragement, I would say, if you mention it too many times. But nevertheless, calling him Satana is putting a label. Like, when you hear that, you hear, to me, it makes the spirit sound what it is, right? It's like, it almost irks you. Like, it's a destructive, corrupt, evil, somewhat intelligent. Yes, it's an intelligent spirit, right? It has to be to cause all this trouble, but it's just an evil. It's just something you want to stay away from when you hear the name Satana. Like, ugh. Or when we say that's Satan, right? Satana. Or when we say, see, in English it's devil. I feel like it loses its zest, like the evil zest, right? We call it Javo, right? Javo. And when you say that word Javo, it means it's something, it's almost like you have to force yourself, like you spit something out and something evil and disgusting, right? And I think I'm not saying we should change anything, but that evil spirit has to be labeled the right way so that people don't fall for his tricks, right? Because I'm looking at, like some of there was the 80s bands and 70s, and they were, they're singing and they're worshiping as they're singing, right? They're throwing the sign and they're almost making demon sounds, and to them it sounds cool because they don't realize what it is. That's why I'd say call them a devil, right? It's something disgusting. They don't really realize it's almost like you're eating a burger, but that burger has, it hasn't been maintained. It has salmonella. It has, all these, bad stuff in it. You can imagine, sometimes when you don't take care of meat properly, will grow the same thing. That's why I say, and that's another battle we're gonna have to face, and that's another thing us Christians will have to look out for. I think I've touched upon all I wanted to say. Just, yeah, know your Bible, read the Revelation, because in the Revelation it warns you about what's to come, and pray for God to give you an open spirit, an open mind, and to tell your spirit what's to help you with your spirit, and you know what I mean. What else? Yeah, there's definitely, I've encountered, not, as I've did my research, and I've been more or less, I guess, attacked, haunted somewhat by these followers of the dark, but I mean, they can't do anything to me spiritually. They stand no chance. Maybe that's why I'm such an interest in some way, because it seems like I mean, physically I am somewhat strong, but I think spiritually, not faith-wise. There's a couple of different strengths, I guess, in the spirit world, right? there's people that have the faith and the spirit. Moses, why was he chosen, right? Like you have to have such a strong. That's why he was put in that position, right? Like even Pharaoh, the Pharaoh, he realized that's why they wanted him, right? That he realized that Moses was something special. There was some strength about him, and of course God knew that too. And that was the gamble. What is Moses gonna choose, right? Is he gonna forget his people, abandon his people and go follow Yah, go worship Ra or whoever was, you know, the whoever was the evil fallen angel, at that time, or was he gonna turn to Yahweh, the Hebrew God, our God, God of the world, God of the world, God of everything? So Moses, of course, made a decision, and the strength he must have had, and how strong his spirit, right, to open, to split the sea apart, to do everything. So there's definitely people out there with stronger spiritual endurance and stronger spiritual, just strength in the spirit. But that's, if you're, like I was saying before, if you're, whether you're stronger in spirit, whether Moses was stronger than me, or he was, of course, but whether it's, like Christ says, we're all in it together. We are all in it together, and the first is the last, last is the first. So I'm not, and I would never envy that, because I'm sure with that kind of responsibility came a lot of sacrifice, right? That's another thing. I mean, all these people that have this glory, Dave, right? Abraham, he had to kill his son basically, and for God, as a test, and that was something horrific, right? Something so close to your heart, you have to give up, and I've been there. So all these great people of the past, they've they sacrificed a lot. They deserve to be known the glory, right? Yeah, so that's my thing today. I want to touch upon the whole voting thing. I don't want people to get it wrong. You should vote. You should, I guess, be involved in your community, and in your country, and votes matter. But yeah. Oh, another thing I want to touch upon was, this is more for, like, I would say this is more for pastors. I would say one of the reasons Christ went into the desert, and we don't know how long he was there, because the Christ, I'm pretty sure he can, time and space does not exist for such a man. Right? That's why he told the people, I was created before Abraham, and people didn't understand what that, like, how, what. Even when he told people you have to be born twice, you can be born twice, right? And it's funny, at that time people were like, what? How can you be born twice? Actually, you can't be, in spirit. And there's so many, let's just say the Bible, there's a reason for everything, right? There's a reason for your lungs, for heart. When God creates something, there's a reason. When he does something in the Bible, there's a reason. When he says something, there's a reason, right? It's not a simple, right? Like, even the legion, like when the legion, right? Why did Christ show mercy to the legion? They were the spirits that possessed the one man, right? There's a reason for that. There's a reason for everything. So yeah, I think I'm done. Oh man. So yeah, the Legion part. I thought there's something. All right, seems like that's it for now. Uh, so yeah, we'll uh, we'll reconvene another time, and you guys have a good day or night, whatever it is, whatever it is at the place you're at, and God bless. God bless you all.